Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Redskins.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Redskins. Here comes Johnson on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
I think one of the things that attracted people to Alex Smith initially was his mobility, and that's never changed. That guy's a great athlete, but he's so sharp with the football, so accurate, and takes care of it so well, he rarely puts his team in bad situations.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That one good for 14 yards. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Smith finding Doxson that time for a Washington first. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 1st down.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw on second down is Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Jordan Reed is one of the best route-running tight ends in the NFL, and it shouldn't be an accident because at one point he was a college quarterback. So at times when he runs routes downfield, I think he's doing it with quarterback eyes and almost in a sense is imagining himself catching a pass from himself.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A shotgun snap for Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a play fake here on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Again, Smith. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a Redskin first down as Smith hits Crowder.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Smith throwing again. He'll check it down to Geis. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for that?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Point after try forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level, went to a junior college, went to Cal and just blew up there. And then, of course, is a first-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the first round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick, but when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at his draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up a touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, they're natural.
Now heavy Redskin pressure, and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And somebody better wake up pretty quick here. You give up the touchdown on the first drive of the game, then you get the ball and have a punt blocked.
I love how you phrased it. There better be a wake-up call in a hurry. Already down, gave up the punt block. That could make it a bigger hole to try and climb out of.
Smith on first down. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the ground, it's Thompson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Now the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And now the Packers get set to go. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this one caught by Max Williams. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Caught left side, Williams. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Montgomery. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Let's go, come on.
Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far.
319.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. On the move to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Reset. Hey, easy.
Rodgers to throw on second down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Max Williams, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have cut it back within a score.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Crosby with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, well, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run with Thompson. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. on it here with Thompson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, Smith. Airing one out for Crowder. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you go lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Wide open receiver, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
They go play action for Montgomery, and now Rodgers. And his throw here is incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Here's Rodgers being chased out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed out right. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Steps away to his left, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Packers on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They come out here in the I. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And it's caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the one on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. It's the fullback with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Throwing is Rodgers. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
319!
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Great move by Montgomery. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Rodgers now on first down. Dancing to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
258!
Rodgers will try again on second down. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Rodgers now to throw. Man open left side. It's Williams. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. Meeting the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Hey, 4th and inches. Why let your quarterback try and sneak for it? Give it to the guy who's born to fight for those tough yards. It's a fullback dive, and he just makes sure he secures the football and then plows forward to pick up the first down.
319! 319! Look at you!
Rodgers now on first down. Buying time to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Let's go. Get reset. Hey, easy. No.
And now a carry here for their fullback. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Good solid gain on first down. About what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
319!
Here's Rodgers to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open. Just a split second too late on the release. To throw, it's Rodgers. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Packers add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now here's Johnson. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Smith finding his big tight end read for a Redskins first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Again, a run with Thompson. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Smith. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 2nd and 10. Smith again. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now Thompson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
To give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Smith. Forced out under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Nick Perry in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Smith now to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? From the gun, here's Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL. Back now at FedEx Field. Well, the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating,
Let's go, come on.
the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Being chased down, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Pernell McPhee in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Oh, he slipped right by him. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On the catch, it's Crowder. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing is Smith. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He got 29 yards that time.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Adams. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force him.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Pernell McPhee in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Here's J.K. Scott now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
That's caught by Trey Quinn. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's face it, if you love football, you love the contact we just saw there. He really lowered the boom on him. But how about him holding on to the football? I can tell he's an ex-DB. That's discouraging to you to have that type of a hit, yet he still holds on to the ball and gets a first down.
On those and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that, the rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
Hey, where y'all going?
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Into the Redskins have it, they do.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it, a costly turnover. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it's 3rd and short. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Executed well there.
And it's often really well early, and then he kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Rodgers looking to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Now Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead,
and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Nick Perry in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He's back to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
The Redskins on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw. It's brought in by Dodson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. Back to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. There he goes right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. A little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, one-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick six.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. On first down, Smith. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 12 yards there as they move the chains. First down now, but that clock rolling. And he'll get up and spike it with 11 seconds remaining. And no, they can't connect on the pass. So that gets the clock down to 11. Time for probably 2 more plays. Got to go quickly, though. Here's Smith now on second down. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at third down here. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Packers, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner.